The difficult, we can take care of right away. The impossible will take a little longer. These were the words that guided Gus Verona. I knew of him, but didn't really know him. So let's start with what I know. Gus is my great-grandfather. His name shows up all over town. There's even a carousel horse in Penargil dedicated to his memory. But who was Gus Verona? I wanted to learn more about a man I never met, but shaped my life in ways I could never imagine.
Is that Betty Gat with Daddy at Nana's house? Mm-hmm. Huh. Look.
There aren't that many people left alive in our town who I could talk to about my great-grandfather. Thankfully, I have Gus's daughters, my grandmother Rosalind and my great-aunt Catherine, who can tell me his story.
Gus was born in the small village of West Bangor here in Pennsylvania. He was born on August the 8th, 1910.
Early in his life, Gus was very active within the community. He sold produce, worked as a bobbin boy in the textile mills, and also worked in a local slate quarry. As soon as he turned 21, Gus became a committee man of the Democratic Party in Northampton County.
One of the things that interested him was that there were a lot of immigrants living here from Italy, and he was anxious to get them to vote. He would take them to the courthouse in Easton, because he did have a car, and get them registered to vote.
Along with voting and citizenship efforts, Gus worked with the WPA in the 1930s to pave the roads of West Bangor. In the late 40s, Gus had a plan to bring street lights to the town.
He initiated the idea of having the people pay for the utility company to put in street lights here, and the people were very, very supportive of that. It was a lovely village, but it was very dark in the evening, so I think it was 1948, around Christmas time, when the first street lights were put on.
Wow, I'm starting to see his influence on our family. During our discussion, Catherine told me the story of Gus's entry into political office. It was 1956, and scandal rocked the Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission. Governor George Leader discovered that many members of the commission, including Alex Miller, were misusing funds for lavish parties and personal expenses. That March, Governor Leader appointed Gus and others to replace those disgraced by the scandal. Gus served with the Toll Commission for 3 years. In 1959, he was elected congressman of the 138th District of Pennsylvania. Gus had many initiatives as the representative of Northampton County. One of them was to improve continuing education for his constituents.
He was interested in promoting technical schools so that students would be trained in the workforce to get jobs here in the greater Lehigh Valley.
Through all of his work, Gus still had time to be an important part of his family.
Family always did come first. I can remember when we were much younger, we always had our Sunday dinner. It used to be at lunchtime, and it was always spaghetti. It was supposed to be a fun experience, and he thoroughly enjoyed having the family. And the young cousins still talk about that today, how I had to sit next to Uncle Gus and he taught me how to twirl my spaghetti.
So that's where I get it from. In 1963, a major shift in Pennsylvania politics occurred. The legendary U.S. Congressman Francis E. Walter passed away. Pennsylvania Senator Fred Rooney took over his position in a special election.
So that meant that the seat was open, and then they declared that the election would be held in November of 1963. My father received the nomination of the Democratic Committee to run for the office. That nomination, I think, took place in August.
Gus won the seat by a large margin and was sworn in on December 2nd, 1963. However, the 2nd was the only day he would sit in his new Harrisburg seat.
He had a little lump right near his collar, and it bothered him. That routine chest x-ray showed that there was something on the lung. It did progress, and it moved quickly.
Gus spent most of his time bedridden in his living room, but still continued his senatorial duties. However, the cancer that was found in late 1963 spread too fast for anyone to stop.
This past week, 53-year-old State Senator Gus Verona died at his home in West Bangor. I was sorry to learn of the passing of Senator Verona last night. He of Northampton County across a great senator. I don't think Gus Verona has ever said an unkind word about anyone.
Gus was buried at St. Elizabeth's Cemetery in Penargil. In 1965, the West Bangor Rod and Gun Club, of which Gus was a member of most of his life, created a memorial in his honor.
The day of the ceremony, it rained. And the thing that caught me the most was the number of people who turned out in the pouring rain for this dedication.
So, how did this man, who I never met, play such a huge role in my life?
You do care about people, and you have a thirst for knowledge. And my father and my mother, can't let my mother out of this either, they both had a thirst for knowledge. They both read everything that they can get their hands on. Maybe you got that from them.
I think as a family, we're very close, and if anybody in the family needs assistance, you know, everybody is willing to help. We not only help the family, you know, he instilled in that, use the talent you have to help other people.
And that's the answer right there. Our family. Our bond is strong. There aren't that many of us. Even though we might be separated by hundreds of miles or a few houses, we all care for one another regardless. Gus's descendants have all gone and done amazing things to help others, whether it's teaching, military service, physical therapy, or business. And then there's me. What will I do with this legacy of service? We'll see. Senator McDonough. What do you think about that, Gus?